Hi there, Rick Young here with networkwithrickyoung.com. And today I wanted to ask, do you ever get the I don't have the money objection? Well, I've gotten that a few times myself, and I just wanted to kind of tackle that with some of the things that I've kind of learned on my journey. All right, so if you have experienced that, well, just hang on just a second, and we're going to dwell right into it. So you go up to the prospect, you present your opportunity, you present your product, service, and opportunity to them, and you just say, I don't have the money. So all kinds of ways. Now, at first, when I was going to title this, I was going to give you one, two, maybe three different ways to kind of deal with the money objection. But I'm just going to go off the hip here. So we're going to see how just tend to a few different things that different ways that you can address that objection. So believe it or not, there's a lot of leaders out there that don't deal with objections at all. They simply say, if a prospect simply says, I don't have the money, or I don't have the money for that, then they would say, oh, okay, cool. It's not for everybody. Awesome. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time, and just let them go. It's kind of there's two ways they kind of deal with that. One is like a posture. It's about having the posture to be able to say, okay, cool, no problem, and a lot of people are so used to you going, or people coming after them, right, to kind of beg them to come in. And then when you don't, they're kind of taken back from it. He's like, whoa, wow, you're not chasing after me. The other thing that does with the I'm cool, all right, I'm sorry to hear that, no problem, it's not for everybody. A lot of leaders feel that there's just so many people out there that they're looking for the people that are looking for them. You see what I'm saying? So they're not going and chasing people. Cool, you're one person out of a billion. All right, no problem. I'll go find somebody who is looking, who can make that decision on the spot. That type of thing. All right? So that's one way that some leaders have put out there that they deal with it. All right? Another way that can be dealt with that I don't have a money is there's one of my upline in my company, not into my specific upline, but one of the leaders in my company. He after going through a series of oh, come on, man, I'm sure you can afford it. Right? And especially if it's a hot market type of person. Okay, so a hot market is close to that person, close to you, right? And if that person is like, man, I don't have the money. Okay, so here's how he deals with that situation. So he basically says, do you know me? Do you trust me? Do I have enough credibility, to warrant X amount of dollars? And just stops, leaves it at that. He asked that. He asked, do you know me? Do you trust me? And do I have enough credibility to warrant that amount of money? And typically in network marketing company, it's not a huge amount of money, but and so it makes it even better, because it's like, hey, am I not worth $500 to you? That type of stuff. So, kind of a guilt trip type of thing, but it's playing on the relationship. It's playing on the trust factor. And, one kind of sidebar, kind of, off track here, but, for network marketing, it's a friend validator as far as I'm concerned. It really truly tests the boundaries, or test the trust factor of relationships, So just be careful how you wear that on your sleeve or not, okay? Because a lot of times when those that are closest to you say no, it can pretty, it can bite you pretty good. And, a lot of people question wow, I thought we were closer than that. So just be aware that may or may not happen. I'm just saying. So let's say, okay, so another way, let's say, this is a common way through a lot of leaders. Okay, one of them is and I recently used this. I had a 50-plus-year-old woman that I had used to pitch my my product, service, and opportunity to, and she declined me for financial reasons. And now 50 plus now. So my response to her was, how does that make you feel? How does it make you feel to be a 50-year-old woman and not be able to afford X amount of dollars at any given moment? So what that does is, and be careful how the tone, okay? Because if he's like, how does it make you feel? That comes across not as empathetic, So be careful how you do that. Be empathetic when you say it. Be true when you say it. And it's true, seriously. Put yourself in that situation. If you're not in that situation now, and it doesn't matter how old you. I mean, if you're 25, 30, whatever, and you can't afford $200, $300, $400, $500, or even $1,000 at a moment's notice, that's not good. That's absolutely not good. And so how does that make you feel? And so it brings on a discussion, and it kind of invokes a discussion. It was like, you know what? Look, okay, so let's do something to change that. See, so that's the basis of asking that question. It's based on emotion. So you want to get down to them there, and they'll come back with like, well, it freaking sucks. Okay, let's do something about it. So, Grant Cardone has I'll show you. Awesome book. I'm promoting it for him. He's an awesome dude. Love the book, Fearless Networking. All right, so I just want to give you a little excerpt to kind of what he puts out here. And here's it goes. So this is the prospect. Says, I don't have the money. And he says, I get it. I worked a lot with people who felt they didn't have the money. So are you actively doing anything about, anything right now to help you change that situation in your life? So again, it's a problem solution type of thing, It's like, cool, I get it. That's a feel, felt, found technique, all right? I get it, all right? It's kind of you're breaking down a barrier, because a lot of times a prospect is expecting you to be like, what do you mean? But instead of that, what you do is you take that away. You take that confrontational side away, right? And you say, I get it. When you say I get it, in their mind, they're like, oh wow, he understands me, and then they relax. Okay, so when you say I get it, then you obviously would be like, hey, I worked with a lot of people that were in your situation. So again, what you're basically doing is on that front is, number one, me being the prospector, I'm getting like a posture saying, hey, I've dealt with a lot of people that were in your situation, all right? So it also says that there are more than just you who can't afford it, right? And then on top of that, when he asks, are you actively doing anything to now to help you change that situation? So, if the person's response is no, well then, hello, this is a prime opportunity, absolute prime opportunity. The prospect says, no, I feel stuck. I'm working 3 jobs and barely making ends meet. And then what you would come back with is, okay, are you ready to do something about it so that you never have to say that I don't have the money again? Boom. Wow. So you're trying to get into there. See, so many people, they put up so many barriers, and it's sad because they, you know, they're they self-sabotage. They're the worst enemy. They stop themselves from succeeding. A lot of people would be satisfied with saying, "Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have the money," and just end it right there and go on with their lives, and would continue on with the same mundane life, never get ahead at all. But when you can pose questions to kind of invoke something inside them, a fire inside them, saying, "You know what? I don't like this. I want better. I want to do better." Well, guess what? When you ask that question and you invoke those feelings, hello, you have the solution. Okay? If you're not currently doing anything about it now, I have something that you may want to try. That is a possible solution. See what I'm saying? So that's the money objection. There's just so many different ways to address it. Okay, here's another one. Let's do this. All right, so you got a prospect who says, "Oh, I can't afford it." This one's pretty cool. I thought about this. Now again, each of these you're going to have to tailor to your audience. Okay, tailor to the prospect themselves. Okay, some you won't say to an older person or a younger. It just depends. All right, it depends also on the relationship you have with that person. That's just how that is. So here's one way, and I can't remember who exactly I heard this from, but it was still pretty cool. And someone says, "Oh man, I just can't afford it." It's like, "Oh really? Okay." So let me ask you this question. Now, what's your favorite car? Assuming that the prospect is a male. Males are typical car people, right? So if you ask the male, say, "Hey, what's your all-time, if money was no object, right? Money was no object. What was the number one car that you would like, right? Hands down." And they say, "Oh, it's a Lamborghini." It's like, "Oh, wow, that's an awesome car." Okay, so check this out, all right? Let's just play along with me here now. So if I had a set of Lamborghini keys right now, right? And I had a Lamborghini sitting down there in the parking lot, and I asked you, I will give you these if you give me $500, right? $500 in the next 6 hours. $500 in the next 6 hours, I will give you this car. Would you be able to come up with the money? Boom. Guess what? I guarantee they're going to be like, yeah. So it's no different. So the problem is they don't see the vision. They don't see the value in what you're offering. All right. So the money objection is just something else that's deep seated. All right. It's just deep seated. Money objection is so far out there. It's like, whatever. People can afford it. They can find the way. They can cut their 3 lattes a day out and be able to afford it. It's a poor excuse. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's a good one. I like this one. So oh yeah, I just can't afford it. I don't have the money for it. Oh yeah, cool. All right. So let me ask you this question. Who's the closest person to you in your life? Is it your mom, your grandma, your grandfather, your son, your daughter, what? And typically this works better, especially if they say it's a female in their family, right? So let's say their grandmother, they're super tight with their grandmother, right? Say, okay, well, let me ask you this question, man. So if your grandmother calls you at 2:00 in the morning, right, and says, "Hey, baby, I got arrested. Don't worry, all right? Don't worry about me, but I can't stay here. I need to get out, and it's going to cost me $500 to bail out, and I have no idea when I'll be able to pay you back. Can you please get me out of here by 7 o'clock?" What do you think they're going to do? Okay? They're going to find the money. They're going to do something, some way, some shape or form to find the money. Hands down. All right. So it's a matter of just when you're talking about objections like this, it's about trying to help them overcome these objections. You see, and also try to kind of get deep seated into it, because it's never about those little things about about I can't afford the money, because they can. All right, they absolutely can. All right, they just have to ask the question. A lot of them again is they say you have to reframe their thoughts. You have to reframe their brain and say, you know what? Instead of saying I can't, ask yourself, how can I? And it reframes your brain to work in a way to where it starts to look for solutions. Versus when you say I can't, your brain stops. It just is dead. I can't do it. Cool. It just stops working. There's no point in thinking about it because you already said I can't. However, if you have them, or however you want to use this, if you have them say, how can I? Then your brain starts to think, well, can I do, what can I do? Can I do this? Can I do that? It's continually starts to think about how it can process those things. So, all right, guys, that's it. I mean, I don't know, what was that, 5, 6 different ways to do the money objection. So, I hope it got some value out of it. If it did, please feel free to share this with your folks. Anybody you feel like can actually benefit from this. All right, and do me a favor, comment on this posting, and love to hear what you got to say. If you have any questions, or if you have any topics that you're kind of struggling with, hit me up. I'd love to respond back to you and give you as much much value as I possibly can. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope you go out there and absolutely crush this. All right. So you go out there and define your dash. All right. You never quit, and you have a phenomenal day. All right. You guys take care. Bye-bye.